Hey everyone, this is Geeky Vices with J-Belle, where I talk about bits of geekdom and pop culture I've been into lately. So I'm doing a bonus video because last week I didn't get one, so hey, double the videos this week. Yay! Anyways, so the general vibe of the show is it's unedited, unrehearsed, unhip. I don't care about what's the latest greatest. I just kind of go with wherever my interest meanders. It is random. Sometimes it's what's just came out. Sometimes something back in the 90s. Sometimes it's something US based. Sometimes it's from something international, like this week, which I'll get into in a moment. Also, general warning is that I tend to be spoilers light. I try being careful not to reveal major plot points or like major reveals, but I do try giving like a general gist of things. So if you want to go in completely without any bias, then I suggest you watch the rest of my video after you enjoy this content. Otherwise, enjoy. So, anyways, as I was saying, this week I am going delving into international entertainment media, and I believe it's my first Chinese drama. I'm talking about Love 020. So I've seen tons of anime. I know I've seen some Japanese dramas, not a lot. I know Atelier is definitely is one which I never finished, but like I know that's one. But I have seen a good amount of Korean dramas, however. So like Dream High was my first one, which will always hold a special place in my heart. Some other ones I've seen and enjoyed were uh, Boys Over Flowers, uh, To the Beautiful You, Coffee Prince, uh, It's Okay, That's Love, The Good Doctor, which I adore. Like the acting, that is amazing, and I think it's really cool that it's made to the U.S. as a U.S. version with Freddie Highmore, which I haven't seen the U.S. version, but it's so hard to top the acting of the lead in the original one. But I would be so excited to watch the U.S. version. What else? Tomorrow's Cantabile. Can't I don't know my musical. But anyways, like yeah, those are just some of the ones off the top of my head I've seen. So I've seen a decent amount of Korean dramas, but as I said, I think this is my first Chinese drama. Although I think I saw a couple episodes of Two Fathers, which I kind of lost interest in, and it just made me want to watch Three Men uh, and a Baby, and Three Men and a Little Baby, but the sequel. But anyways, I digress. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, Love 020 is in case you can guess from the title, it is definitely a romance series. And apparently it's like one of the most popular ones in China. And I think most of the stuff I'm going to say aren't really big spoilers because you can tell who ends up with each other just from watching the intro. So I'm not really too worried about major spoilers in this regard. But anyways, I apologize ahead of time. I'm gonna probably avoid using the characters' names. I have a hard certain cultures' names I have a hard time with. Like I will just butcher them, and I feel more awkward than helpful saying them. Like I feel okay with Japanese names, but I don't know. I don't have enough of an ear for Chinese names to be able to say them some on my own. So I said I'm probably not gonna say most of their names, so I'm sorry for that, but that's just my personal comfort level. So, anyways, the lead character is a. Okay, this is the one character whose name I will attempt to say. Bei Weiwei. So I believe Weiwei is her first name. She is a. She's a college student. I believe it starts off with her being as a sophomore. She lives in a dorm with three other girls at Qing University in capital city, and she is a computer engineering major who enjoys gaming, in particular, a Chinese ghost story. So, which I believe might be a real game. I haven't done that much research. Basically, I binge watched the series in like a couple days, and I started rewatching it after I watched the movie, which came out, and then also reading some fan fiction, which is why I think it might be a real game. But anyways, like so, basically, she plays this video game, which is very the US equivalent is like it's kind of World of Warcraft. So it's like it's very fantasy based. There's different classes, but it's definitely much more like interpersonal relations related, and it's definitely like as like it's Chinese culture and like monsters and such. So it's pretty cool. But and she is the number 6 player on her server, and she's the top ranking female player. So she's pretty badass in the game, and she has and so that's her in-game life. Out of the game, she has 3 roommates. One in particular who she's like best friends with, who's like the girl who's always whining and very bubbly, but like always needs Weiwei's attention and help, because Weiwei's good at most things. Like she's basically considered to be a genius. And also she's very studious and efficient with her time, and she's also doesn't get absorbed into drama and such. So like she's a little bit too perfect. I mean, my last video I was talking about characters being a little bit too perfect. I will go into comparing that a little bit, but like Weiwei is very much an idealized female character. But so anyways, as I said, in real life, she is very attractive. In fact, she was voted number 2 in the school's list of campus beauties. And apparently the reason she lost because it was a blurry photo taken from afar that she didn't know about, which she doesn't even care about the list. She thinks the list is stupid, but she's considered to be the department belle. So she's considered to be the prettiest girl in her department. So I don't know if this is just this show particular thing, or if that's actually an important thing in Chinese culture. But anyways, so yeah, that's who she is, and she's a total badass. And in the very first episode, her in-game husband, who she's been with for like half a year, basically he has to see her photo and meet her in real life, and she's kind of like, I don't really see a reason to. We're just having fun in the game. When most people are like, trying to show their photos, and like honestly, a lot of people, because she doesn't show her photo or anything or ask for items or help from the guys, like she's pretty independent. There's a lot of people who think that she's a guy in real life. And anyways, her computer crashes because of her roommate's fault right before she responds to him, and so when she gets back on pretty quickly, he asks to annul the marriage, which for her is no big deal because they had the in-game marriage for request. And so like for her it's no big deal. And like there's all this gossip and drama, and like apparently he gets engaged very quickly again. But anyways, while her computer is crashed, she goes to a internet cafe for this match she had promised someone. And while she's playing, this one guy ends up seeing her play the game. So he falls for her just from watching her play, like just like from watching her be a player. So he doesn't know anything about her or anything, and he turns out that he is the number 1 in game. He is the number 1 player in their server. So when at her recent ex's wedding, she ends up like her character ends up being at the bridge where the wedding is, and basically she in real life has to run to the bathroom, so she's not on screen for a while, and people are thinking she's going to storm the wedding because her character's just standing there, and everyone's just like gossiping, and it's like it's taking attention away from the bride, and it's like I don't understand why people are so gossipy and to care so much, because it's a freaking game. And it's like, it's fictional marriages with people you don't usually know. Although apparently if there's a bunch of, in the game, there's a bunch of real life couples or people who become couples because of the game. But anyway, so she ends up sitting down and selling herbs and to basically dispel attention. And then the guy who saw her at the cafe, the number 1 player in her game, ends up asking her to marry him. And she agrees because like there's going to be this in-game couples championship. And the thing is that we find out that, well, she doesn't find out until later. We already know who it is. Like he's basically the school idol. So like he's considered to be the genius class, like as the genius of the computer engineering department, who has programs that she's a fan of and uses. And he has his own gaming company that he has with his roommates. So pretty cool for when you're still a college student. He's a senior about to graduate, by the way. He's also like very athletic, like, and as I said, like he's the school guy. Like girls will text like, "Oh my God, he's on campus! He's on campus! Oh, he's gonna be in the department basketball game." Like so, like all the girls totally fangirl over him. And he doesn't always live in the dorms because both his parents are professors at the school, so sometimes he lives with them at their place. But so yeah, so that's just like that's just the basic premise of the show. So I'm just I'm not gonna spoil too. I'm not gonna go into too much stuff, but I will as far as like going throughout the entire storyline, because you should watch the show and enjoy that. But I will say that, as I said, both the main characters are perfect, but I'm okay with it. Like they're perfect in ways that make sense. Like she is, like I said, she's pretty, but she doesn't really like she's not narcissistic about it. Like she's kind of like, it doesn't care. She cares about inner beauty. She tutors a kid. She she doesn't really gossip, and she's kind of not gets to invest in it. Like, although she doesn't like someone like just talking smack about her, but she's not like trying to stir drama or get. And the thing is that in game, her ex's new wife and the wife's friends, the friends are the worst people about it. Like because the new wife is considered to be the beauty of the server, which it's like, okay, why does that matter in game if someone's a beauty or not? But they're always like trying to basically attack her character. And then in real life, there's a girl who is the campus beauty, really has a big crush on the idol guy, and her friend, and the campus beauty has a friend who's very insidious and like gossipy, and basically like is one of those people who's just like very sly and you don't trust them. And she's a journalist major, so she's always like eavesdropping and taking videos without permission. And so she's always stirring up trouble by being like, oh, Wei Wei's trying to pursue this guy, versus like Wei Wei's not actively trying to pursue anyone. Like she keeps on actually turning down guys, so she's like, I don't want a boyfriend right now. But yeah, so it is one thing I do find interesting. It's like basically the two quote unquote rivals. I think if you took away the horrible like toxic relationship of their friends, like if you took that away from them, I think they would be okay. Especially the campus beauty. Like she's fine. Like at the end, she totally, like you see, like she definitely has her moments where she's like, her innate nature isn't to be catty and scheming or anything. Her innate nature is much more honest and good nature. I would say, like, I think she left to her own devices. Like she's probably pretty classy. So she's also a rich girl and who's used to everyone fawning all over. And I think the fact that the main guy the idol guy is kind of aloof and shows no attention to any girls until he sees the one girl playing the game, and like he basically falls for her. But also like the in-game rival, like the in-game beauty, like her friends are terrible. Like they're just constantly like accusing everyone of being, like they're stirring up shit, and then they're accusing them of being bullies when they try like telling them, like standing up for themselves. And it's like, just because you're stronger characters, you shouldn't pick on the weak. And they're like, well, you guys shouldn't keep on stirring shit. And like especially since one of them is a total homewrecker, which you'll know if you watch the series what I'm talking about. But it's just like, yeah, it's, and like I see, and the thing is that the in-game beauty and the main character's ex like become a real life couple. And the thing is, like, he's a rich guy, and he will take her friends out to lunch too, and like just listen to them just be catty and just constantly, and it's like, I don't get why he puts up with it. And it's just like, I don't blame him for when he breaks up with her, because like it's not just because like it's just, yeah, I don't get the toxic friendships. And like I feel like, as I said, like I think both those girls would have been better if they had better choices in their friends. But anyways, that was one of my interesting observations. So yeah, in case you can't tell, like eventually they eventually do get together in real life. Like she falls for him in character. Like he is definitely very smooth and good at wooing her. And the thing is that I like his three friends who are totally like from the get-go, like they're on her side. So like they've got her back, and like they'll do things like someone posts something nasty about, like a nasty post about her on forum, they'll hack the forum and like take things down and such. Like they'll do things, or it's like someone accuses her of stealing their monster prey. Well, they'll create sub accounts and then like basically provoke the girl into doing that. So it's just like, well, we have a video of you're being the one doing this. So it's just, I do love the friends. It takes me a while to get them, and I will say that Girly Mei, like one of them basically is basically considered to have a baby face, and his name, his name was because his mom had a vision that that she was gonna have a girl and she didn't. So his name apparently has feminine connotations. But anyways, like I adore him, especially when he develops a friendship with someone in the end, which I totally ship them. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I totally ship them, and that's honestly what the fan fiction I was reading was all about, was about those characters. And I do find that such an dynamic, because like one of them is like the super bubbly, like chipper person who's friendly with everyone, but like is lazy and kind of screws up, versus the other guy is like the stoic, barely talks, but is very talented at things. And just the sheer loyalty between them and such, and I'm just like, I adore it so much. So anyways, the characters are, I think there's lots of very interesting characters. It's a beautiful, beautiful series. Like the in-game stuff is beautiful animations. Like it's the lush, like decadent, like Chinese styles, like costumes and visuals and fighting and everything, and it's so much fun. I kind of wish there was more of the in-game stuff, because like as the series progresses, and especially like as they become more and more of a real life couple, and also like it's more and more like he's no longer in school and she's interning for him, and they're not playing in-game as much. It's more so about their life, like what their life's leading up to, and also like it's a lot of it's about his company after graduation, like their attempts at like creating their games and their launch and everything, or their demo and everything. It's just like there's not as much of the in-game stuff. I'm like, oh, I miss it. There was so much beautiful stuff, and also there's some in-game stuff like I feel like they never like finished up. Like they made a big deal about them getting rare monsters, which is a cool thing. They get some. She ends up negotiating for some cute little tigers that they have their monsters like married, but they're not allowed to live in the same house because they're considered underage monsters because they haven't been in game long enough. I'm like, I want to see what happens with the rare monsters you guys made a big deal about marrying off. And yeah, I feel like it's just like the story kind of like veers away from that. But yeah, I love the characters. I will say there is one character who is considered the genius of the foreign language department, who he's so, I mean, I see my moments where I do like him, but I feel like he keeps on doing terrible things. And it's just like, I totally get why she tells him, it's like, you say you like me, but you slander me, and you do these things to hurt me. And it's like, why would I want you to like, why would I want to be with you when you do these things, when you claim to like me? And yeah, although I do feel bad for her friend for what happens from that. But yeah, it's an amazing show. Like it was a really good show for me to watch when I did, because like it's something that it was a tough time of year for me. So this is like one where it's like, if you just want to watch a good romance, where like it's there, and the nice thing is that it's also like compared to some Korean dramas, like especially like Boys Over Flowers or something, like most of the drama is just like interpersonal, like gossipy things. Like it's not as like ridiculous, over the top, like I'm gonna try destroying your house, you got amnesia, you got this. Like there's not that much like over the top like external stuff. Like their lives are pretty together. Like there is one car accident, but it's more so someone gets a concussion and knocked unconscious for a few hours, versus it being like, oh my god, are they gonna die? Like it's realistic level of drama, I would say. So yeah, I highly recommend the series. I did also watch the movie, which it's not as good. Like I do feel like the female lead is more relatable, but she's not as cool and collected. Like she's definitely much more emotive, which is fine. But and there's only one actor who's in both of them. So if you're wanting to see more of the original actors, like there's only one person who plays. He kind of plays the same character. Like his real life character is the same character in both, but like his in-game character is a different character. But it makes sense why they combine them. But like the movie, I would say, it basically is a summary of the series, and I don't like the conflict moment it has at the end and how it wraps up. It just feels like it rushes through, and it feels empty. But yeah, and also my biggest complaint for the way the series ends is that I like my epilogues for when we have, I mean, it's a 30 episode series, but like some of the characters, like especially the idol guys' friends, like they don't get their final moment. Like they've been a big part of the series. Like I want to have that epilogue of what's going on with everyone. like rather than, so that I would say is my biggest criticism of it. That, and also like there's some other random loose lines, especially some of the in-game stuff that like don't get wrapped up. But yeah, like I want more of an epilogue. I want that closure, because like as I said, like I got invested in these characters. But yeah, if you want like a romance where like it's not too heavy, and as I said, you can tell from the intros that like they're gonna end up together. They're gonna be okay. Like you're not gonna feel heavy or upset, and like it's very sweet. And the significant other like he didn't really care. He was, I'd only call him over when there was the cool in-game stuff, because like there is some really cool special effects and really beautiful fights and everything. And like I said, like I highly recommend this. I would, I mean, I definitely would be interested in more Chinese dramas. I mean, I love my Korean dramas. I haven't watched as many Japanese dramas, but I totally be down for those. But yeah, like I am enjoying. Oh yeah, also I will say like my weird two American observations. One, they would only show internal dialogue for the female lead, like as far as like her internal like thought processes, but they never did it for the male lead. I don't know if it's because like she was slightly more the main character, or if it's because like the stereotype of women being more wordy, and like the fact that he's also a kind of like stoic character who will just like give like the little knowing smirk. But as both the characters are like a little bit too perfect, but like I totally forgive them, because like you know what, it makes sense, it works, they have depth to them, like they are consistent with their characters. They're not just like perfect for the sake of perfect and flat. Like they're they're very idealized, but it works. But also the other thing is like there's weird product placement. Like I've noticed every time they're drinking, like there's a good amount of times like, where they're going for alcohol. Like it's always this one brand called Rio, where it's like some colored drink, which I don't know if that's a big deal in China, and that's just like a very popular drink, or if it's actual sponsor for the show. Same as like there's one cold medicine that I keep on seeing, which I don't know the name of, but like whenever they like I can think of at least 3 times where they show that one particular brand and like has a little superhero on it. So yeah, those are some of my quick American observations. But yeah, anyways, I highly encourage you to go out, enjoy it, enjoy whatever other geeky vices get your attention, and yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week. Talk to you guys later. Bye.